Hi, it's the 9th of January 2017 and we're on the allotment again. And today I want to talk about Brussels sprouts. Several people have said to me, you should cut the tops off the growing plants because that encourages more sprout buds to form. Well, I've had my doubts about this for a while and now I'm more than ever convinced that it doesn't actually do any good. I can't imagine the circumstance in which it would do any good, but if you know of one, let me know. But I can tell you what happened here with my Brussels sprouts. These are the ones that I took the tops off, and as I've said before, what has happened is just the sprouts at the top have tried to take over as the top foliage, and they've gone all squashy and opened up. But apart from that, the top is vulnerable. See this one, it's gone all mouldy. They're vulnerable to all sorts of things, frost and bird damage. So when Chris arrived this morning, he found a pigeon standing on top of one of these, and you can see the pigeon has pooped on the top of the sprout there while it's sitting there having its breakfast on all the leaves and the exposed sprouts. There's another one that's been really damaged. If it had had a top, the pigeon would have eaten the top and not the actual sprouts. You can see over here, this one still has its top and the pigeon's just been shredding those leaves. But underneath, the sprouts are protected. So I'm just thinking, maybe this is a story that someone put about and everybody picked it up without checking it. There's got to be a reason why somebody thought it would be a good idea, but I can't for the life of me see what it is. Anyway, it's time to eat all the sprouts before the pigeon does, I guess. Here are the gooseberries in the old fruit cage, and we're clearing the land around the gooseberries so we can protect them better next year. I've taken out 2 of the gooseberry plants. There's 3 more here to go, and I planted them over there. We came to the conclusion it might be good to have a row of bushes like that down the side of the new plot as a windbreak. Silly dog's shivering. You know why? Because on the way here he jumped in a stream and he's got a wet belly, so I better not leave him here too long. Next to the sprouts, here's the kind of wire tunnel that we were donated by a kind neighbour who was abandoning his allotment, and it looks as though the pigeons even got in here at the end, the open end, and it's nipped off the leaves of this cabbage. I wouldn't have expected that at all. Pigeons keep out. This is the garlic bed, and the mole is continuing to turn the earth over and make its little burrows. And the weeds that I hoed, I had a suspicion it wasn't going to work because the ground was so wet. They just didn't die. They rooted themselves again and grew back. But it's all one kind of plant. Is this what they call chickweed? Anyway, once it's grown a bit big, this isn't big enough, but when it grows a bit bigger it'll be fairly easy just to pull it all out of the ground, I think. And if you look along the rows you can see the garlics growing quite nicely where it hasn't been dug up by the mole. I'm really happy with my leeks. They've grown quite fat and reasonably tall, and there's a lot of them. We've already had those. We're working our way down. They'll keep us going for a while yet. And here are the overwintering broad beans. I don't know if pigeons eat those. We couldn't cover them all with this wire cage. There's a row behind that's not covered. I can't see much sign of pigeon damage, if any. This is our fruit orchard, with the 2 trees in rather an awkward place. We've covered it more or less with cardboard and manure. I'm not sure how we're going to proceed next. There in the foreground there's Chris's marker post for what's possibly going to be the corner of this fruit cage. So it's going to go backwards from there, and it will only just enclose that plum tree. And we'll have to keep the plum tree trimmed down if it's going to be in the fruit cage. Well, you can get them 2 meters tall, and you probably don't want it much taller because you want to reach the plums. The cherry tree is not so much of a problem because it's definitely going to be within the fruit cage, and if we plant another one sort of in this direction, that will also be within. And over there the chard is still looking fresh and green and wonderful, and Chris has decided he doesn't mind chard too much as long as we pick the very young leaves. This is Chris's new asparagus bed in the making. Someone on one of those allotments over the other side of the fence posted on the Facebook group that they were going to pick up piles of these half-rotten planks that were being thrown out by a shop that was refitting. And they are slightly rotten, but they're still good enough to make a raised bed. So that's where that's going to go. Chris has already put some manure in the middle. So that's it for now. See you next time. Bye.